मजम्मत करता हूं सर, और मैं इस बजट के खिलाफ अपने खड़ा हूं। बोलने के लिए आपका बेहद शुक्रिया।
Thank you. Honorable Member, Sri N.K. Premachandran.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, sir. Sir, the morning itself, I've raised a point of order as well as an issue regarding the placement of the statement of expenditure and receipts of Jammu Kashmir for the financial year 2022-23 and the discussion on the same day. And that matter has already been discussed in the House. And further, another technical objection also I have raised, that is regarding the demands for grants for the Jammu Kashmir. If you examine the demands for grants for Jammu Kashmir, there are total demands starting from 1 to 36 up to cooperative department. But it is seen that demand number 5 is missing. We know that demand number 5 is in respect to, or it is related to, the Union Territory of Ladakh. But when we miss or when we omit one demand from the serial list of the demands of grants, then that should be re-serialized and that should be corrected. But unfortunately, that has not been done. The demand number 5 is missing. This is in the same case as that of the appropriation bill also. This is missing, for which I am seeking an explanation from the Honorable Finance Minister. Sir, the demands for grants, as rightly pointed out by most of the learned members, I am not going into the details. The total allocation from the central government is 35,581.44 crores as centers, assistance, grants and loans. This is the total amount which has been earmarked to the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. That is just 876.98 crores more than that of the previous financial year 2021-2022. That means a marginal increase of allocation of finance has been provided for the strengthening or for the development of Jammu Kashmir, Union Territory of Jammu Kashmir. Sir, it was a historic day according to the government, because after so many decades, Article 370 is abrogated, or the powers under Article 370 has been limited. By using the constitutional provisions, that is still matter is pending before the Supreme Court, because the Constituent Assembly of Jammu Kashmir has been described as the Legislative Assembly of the Jammu Kashmir, and since the Legislative Assembly of the Jammu Kashmir is not in existence, since there is the presidential government, and using or taking advantage of that position, the Parliament has enacted a law, constitutional amendment by which Article 370 powers have been limited or it is been abrogated, and that is pending before the Supreme Court. I would like to know from the government, especially from the Finance Minister. That is why I have just before also I have stated, what is the present situation or the status of Jammu Kashmir before abrogation of Article 370 and after abrogation of Article 370. That has to be evaluated when we pass the budget for the state or for the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. So many observations and criticisms are coming from various corners, so we should, I even urge upon the government to issue a white paper on pre-abrogation 370 and post-abrogation 370. What is the real status of Jammu Kashmir which is going on nowadays? That is the second point which I would like to make. And coming to the another very important point, sir, regarding the government is always arguing for, even at the time when Amit Shah ji was piloting the bill, after passing the bill at the time of third reading, I still remember Honorable Home Minister has assured the House that after passing this bill, definitely the industrial investment in the valley of Kashmir Valley will be boosting like anything. So many entrepreneurs, just like corporates, are ready and willing to invest in the valley of Kashmir. We would like to know that how much investment so far has taken place in the valley of Jammu and Kashmir, because industrial development, if you examine the statistical data, it is only negligible. And the other cases, I do agree with this, as far as the law and order situation is concerned, it is being reported that there is a little bit improvement. But as far as the developmental process are concerned, the assurances given by the government that Jammu Kashmir's development, especially in the infrastructure development, industrial development, and also in the tourism sector and all these sectors, but it is quite unfortunate to note that even after the abrogation of Article 370, that is after 3 years, the development as promised by the government has not taken place, for which also we are seeking clarification from the Honorable Minister. And regarding the social development, sir, it is very important fact that mere economic development is not the aspirations of the peoples of a democracy. The social as well as the democratic aspirations of the people, how is being protected? Yes, I do appreciate that the local body election at Sarpanch level has taken place, but the real democratic fabric of the state, that is the statehood of Jammu and Kashmir. Repeatedly, the Honorable Home Minister Amit Shah ji has assured this House that immediately we will bring back the statehood to Jammu and Kashmir when the normalcy comes back. That means still, even after 3 years of abrogation of Article 370, we are not able to bring back the normalcy. Means that is also administrative failure on the part of the presidential rule. Because after 3 years, we are not, and even the government is claiming that they are able to contain the militancy, cross-border terrorism, and internal disturbances has come down, stone pelting has come down, the law and the situation has been improved. But why we are not able to declare the statehood to the state of, or to the union territory of Jammu and Kashmir, and to hold the elections in the state assembly, for which also the government is answerable? That means the normalcy is not being taken place even after 3 years. So I urge upon the government to declare statehood, because the democratic aspirations of the people of a particular state is very important as far as their civil right is concerned. That civil right is not being conferred upon the people of Jammu and Kashmir, and we know the tradition, the culture, the social values, and the religious, and all these things have to be protected, and there shall not be any discrimination. There is still an apprehension that such a discrimination is there. So my suggestion is the people of Jammu Kashmir has to be taken into confidence in building the state, or building the union territory of Jammu and Kashmir, and the statehood has to be declared, and the traditional belief culture has to be protected. Mere economic development, mere industrial development do not serve the purpose so as to have the prosperity of the state as a whole. With these words I conclude. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Honorable Member Sri Hanuman Beniwal ji.
सभापति महोदय, जम्मू कश्मीर बजट पर आज बहस चल रही है। जम्मू कश्मीर का नाम जब जहन में आता है